Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. Our guest is termed out Assemblymember Ted Lieu, who represented the 53rd District, but is a candidate for the 28th Senate District. And he joins us to discuss legislation that he authored and Governor Schwarzenegger signed that will protect homeowners against foreclosure scams. Nice to have you with us, sir.
Thank you.
I believe some of this legislation, and you're about what? This is about the third or fourth bill that you've worked on to try and protect homeowners against not so much the really, scams, but just making the process cleaner and simpler, more transparent, and really making sure that homeowners have some sort of protection.
That's correct. And especially in a down economy, you see lots of folks out there who are trying to take advantage of homeowners. So one of the things that they're doing is they're coming to you saying, hey, come to us and we'll do what's called a forensic loan audit.
Which I had never heard of before. What is that?
So it sounds very fancy. It sounds like
Right.
you need it. It is a complete scam. Basically, they take your documents and they read them, and then they tell you what they say. And
So your loan documents.
correct.
Okay.
And what they're trying to do is look at the documents and find out if there's something wrong with them. 99.9% of the time, there's nothing wrong with the documents that you sign.
Because aren't most of the documents, because when we go in and sign them, go through escrow or not, there's an actual boilerplate document that we cannot change. I know, I tried to change mine and even walk out, they said, no, that is a boilerplate document. You can't adjust it.
Well, that's correct. And so as a result, you pay several $100s to have this audit done that is of absolutely no help, and they get several $100s of your money.
And as you said, you can go to the county recorder's office and actually ask for a copy of this and pay a very small fee.
Yes, so there's a second scam going on,
Oh, okay.
which is in addition to asking you for this loan audit, they also come to you and say, we think you need a copy of your grant deed, which most people actually already have. But if you want one, you could go to your county recorder's office and pay $10, or you could pay this third party about $200.
So I guess if we are busy and we have tons of extra money, your law does not make it illegal for us to be able to, for someone to do that. But the bottom line is, what has to happen? What do they have to state up front?
Right. So it's a
clearly?
disclosure. So one thing they have to say is, we are not a government agency, and none of their letters can in any way look like a government letter.
And why is that important?
Because they were sending very official government-looking like letters to you, scaring you in a sense, saying to protect yourself and protect your home, pay us several $100s and we'll get you these items that you need, which you really don't need, and you can get essentially for $10.
For really not, which kind of reminds me, they were talking about home values were dropping. There were people sending out notices, and it looked like it was an official government release saying that, if you want to have your house reassessed, you need to go through us. In reality, again, you could go to the county assessor's office.
Correct. And so that was a bill of mine that was authored 2 years ago that the governor signed, and it largely stopped that practice.
Right.
But as you see in down economy, the scam artists are very creative, and they come up with more and more
Sometimes when you're
scams.
desperate, sometimes we don't make the best decisions. So
Correct.
one is they clearly have to state that they're not a governmental entity, and what's Part B?
Part B is they also have to say in big bold letters, you can go to your county recorder's
Okay.
office and pay $10
Oh my
instead of
goodness.
coming to us and paying $200.
And how did this come to your attention?
We have constituents who complain, and partly because I'd done work in this area,
Right.
folks contacted me because they thought they were getting scammed. They weren't sure, and so they contacted my office. I took a look at it and thought, this has got to be a scam, and we looked into it further. In fact, that's exactly what it was.
What do you encourage people, if somebody does need to or even wants to refinance their mortgage, what really is the best thing to do?
So one thing to do is if someone wants to come and help you other than a bank or a lender, never pay an upfront fee.
Okay.
And the laws actually prohibit that, but there are still some folks that try and skirt the laws to charge the upfront fee. So I would never pay an upfront fee, and I would just deal with more reputable institutions. That's probably the best way to protect yourself.
Right. Make sure that somebody, if they're just saying they're a consultant, but there's nothing to back it up, maybe do a little bit more homework is probably the best thing to do.
That's correct. And if it sounds too good to be true,
It probably is.
Probably is.
All right. Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you.
For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young.